All right, so I guess we are good. I mean, we are live. Sort of, please do check, in background if we are live or not, and let me know, please. So,
Okay.
so we have a couple of items on layer5.io, mystery.io, docs.layer5.io, assistant, and others. And so if you have any agenda item, make sure you write them here with your name. So we'll be covering that. And before we start off with the topics here, let's first follow our layer5 tradition, and that is if you are joining us for the first time. So Vaibhav, I'm gonna mute you for the time being.
ओके मैडम वो वाला तो हाँ ठीक है और जो अभी जो दोबारा से जो रिन्यू जो करा होगा आपको वो वाला नहीं चाहिए.
Sorry, Ritik, I just muted you. So yeah, let's follow our weekly tradition, and that is if you are joining us for the first time, so this is your chance. Make feel comfortable enough to unmute yourself and say a few words about you. You can talk about your interest and how did you come to know about the community, and what's the language that you use at work or in your projects, and also you can talk about your favorite color. So who's gonna be okay? Yeah, so I see Damil will go first. So will you please
All right. Good day, everybody. I am Damilola Miracle Kolawole from Nigeria. I'm a software developer. So I just completed a boot camp like 3 months ago. That's a full stack software development boot camp. So my interest is on front end web development, and my stacks are HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React.js, probably Node.js, but mainly focused on JavaScript and React at the moment. And in layer 5, I got to know from one Slack channel, yeah, my former bootcamp, like the program, I saw the link, then I decided to apply. So when I got in, I haven't read the some of the information, and I've been welcomed by I think Vivek or so. We've been chatting on Slack, so I were able to resolve an issue. All right. Also, I'm interested in the front end aspect. I think, and I've seen that the Mesri UI channel on Slack. So I'll be contributing very soon. I'm just trying to get myself together on some information that I need to read. And I also discovered that at the GitHub repository, some of the contributing guidelines that you have to take into consideration before I should make any contributions. And I was also informed by, I think, Sorab also, on how to, identify an issue. Then I have to ask for an assignment before I take on any task to do. And also currently on my repository, I have forked the Mesri to my own GitHub repository, to my local PC. So, but I'm yet to do anything yet. So I've not done anything yet currently. So I'm waiting for the first meeting so I can know how things go. So that's why I'm here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and yeah, welcome to websites meeting. And joining these meetings really helps. So we do talk about our different good first hands, issues that needs contributors to work on, and so hopefully you will also get some today. And yeah, like I also suggest joining a Thursday's newcomers meeting, and there we kind of talk about everything. We try to cover everything in the community and projects. So once again, thank you for introducing yourself. And next up, who will go next? So let me look for some more newcomers today. So Harsha, is it? I mean, you're joining us for the first time on Websites Call?
No.
Okay. So then I guess, yeah.
Hi.
Hey Harsha. Hey Harsha, do you mind if you don't mind, can you add your last name in Zoom? Because otherwise we will perpetually think that this is your first time, since there's any number of Harshas. By the way, as we're asking, oh, thanks. By the way, if anybody has a webcam, please pull it up. It's always nice to see people. So
yeah. So thank you, Lee. And yeah, so like if I missed someone, so I don't think we have any more newcomers today. And if I miss anyone, so make sure you give your intro in the chat. And so we'll be starting with the topics. So first we'll cover.
Sorry to interrupt that. But Rhoda, did you have your hand up? Were you going to say something?
I guess.
No, I didn't.
Sorry. Yep. Sorry, Vivek, please continue.
So first item, first we'll be covering items on layer5.io and then measure.io and followed by docs.layer5.io and so on. So first up, the first item we have from Trinaya Reddy. So do we have Trinaya on call? I guess we don't. So let's circle back to his item if he joins. And next item we have from Sandra, converting contents to Markdown. So is Sandra with us on today? No, she is not. So would you mind, sending a reminder to them in the channel? And if they'll join, so we'll circle back to these items.
Okay, cool.
Okay. And then we have this item from Ankush. So hopefully Ankush is with us today.
Hi everyone, yes, I'm there.
Yes. So we like to present, this is.
Yes, I will share my screen. Wait a minute. This is the interface. Is my screen visible?
Yep, it is.
So the PR is to issue us to interpage navigation. Like this is the so this is the link, and these are I thought that when we click on backend and front end, it is not it is directly going to that, but this is the current transition which is present on the site. So what I did is the main issue was that ID was not properly for all the navigation links. So now it's the navigation on all is same, but then Sudhanshu asked me to make the navigation smooth, but I tried, but it's not working. So I guess if someone would like to help me on this, the smooth, if you click on here, then it will scroll to up, not it's not directly going there.
Yep. What have you tried so far?
So I tried overflow Wi-Fi auto and then transition smooth, but it's not working. Or if it is working, it is going very fast.
Yeah. Where does overflow Y come into the picture?
Because I think there are there is TOC on left hand side and navigation on left hand side. So I think because without the overflow Y, it's not working.
Wait, let me make sure I understand your question, or the thing that Sudhanshu had suggested is that sounded like he suggested an enhancement to the intra page table of contents on the right hand side, and for that when someone he sounds like he's suggesting that when someone clicks on one of those links, that the page should scroll to that particular location, which I'm sure it does, but it does it very fast. And so he was just suggesting to have it be a little more smooth.
We can see the page scrolling up a bit.
Nice. And then, yeah, cool. And then just as a side note, as you scroll up and down the page, the right-hand side menu, the table of contents on that right-hand sidebar, it perpetually remains visible. So that's a nice feature. Is that a feature of the site today? Or is that something that you've changed in this?
No, it's the site feature of the site.
Nice.
I just changed when we click on this, in the main site.
I got it. I got it now. Yep, I got it.
But
Good. I don't think you need overflow Y in that case. Probably you don't. I could be mistaken, but do you know why you were trying to use overflow Y?
That the whole page goes scrolling. You can see
No, that doesn't happen. What does overflow Y do?
The page of the size of the page is not fixed, then we can, if the size then it will go. Accordingly, it will go into the
No. No, good. All right, good. That's exactly what you're asking for, though, right? There's a little bit of help, a little bit of guidance. Good. Yeah,
Yeah.
probably that one's misleading you. Probably, I would suggest that it is. So, yeah, but it sounded like a couple of other things that you were onto is like, yeah, transition, animation. Those two are certainly will be of help. And it sounds like you should be able to use only CSS. If you bring in JavaScript, your CSS foo isn't up to par. So if you have to rely on JavaScript, don't keep it in CSS. You can facilitate it through CSS. It's cleaner, easier, more highly compatible with various browsers. You can hopefully you're able to key into what's in focus. Perhaps that's a helpful event or a helpful state to transition off of. You said that you were able to invoke certain transitions, but it was either going too fast or way too slow.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Well, good. Well, then actually it sounds like the hard parts are already done. It's just the animation itself. So do you have a snippet of what that looks like? The transition?
I don't have it now.
All right. Okay. Well, I mean, yeah. Okay. I don't know how else to help you. Or good. Yeah. Sounds like you're, I mean, according to how you're describing it, you're in the right spot. Don't make it so fast. Like, I don't know. It's a very tight control, right?
I will look into it.
One thing that might not be as obvious. I mean, it should be relatively obvious that like the amount of milliseconds that you're assigning to the transition, or maybe the amount of seconds. It probably shouldn't be much more than a second, if that. But it might not be as evident that the algorithm that's used for the transition, you know how sometimes you'll start something in motion and maybe it's quick to accelerate at the start. So it starts off very fast and then eventually it sort of reaches its top speed and kind of slows down. So there's those transitions you can control, whether to start really fast or whether to start really slow, or whether to have a different, like maybe go quick, and then go slow and then go quick. You can control that in the, or maybe it's just linear. Those will affect how it feels, how the transition feels. And I'll send you a link in case, are you familiar with that already, or would a link help?
You can send me later. I will see what.
Okay. And maybe this is helpful. Yeah, maybe this is cool.
So
Good.
next is,
Yeah. So the other thing that we should talk about here is the fact that I think you're having a hard time. Like, good, you're adding a column to maintainers in the backend projects. Good, great. Yes, you can expand the table.
so
You should go to each of the projects. Yeah, Ankash, you should go to each of the projects, go to the maintainers.md, grab the maintainers.md names and fill them in here. If you don't find one, then put vacant and you're good to go.
It's already done. Like, let me show you.
Great. Okay, good. I believe you. Let's move on. I've got something else to talk about. It has to do with Sandra and one of your questions, I think, as well. I think it's you. And that is that the fix that we just talked about with respect to the intra-page navigation on the table of contents in the sidebar, the fact that you're having to do a fix is why. Why were you having to do a fix?
On the table, sir. Like I was talking about this.
Yep, the thing that we were just referring to, the sidebar that has the table of contents on the right-hand side.
No, I'm just talking about like this. We can see membership to the GitHub organization. It's on the like.
Yeah, I think we're having a hard time. Yeah, we're having a hard. Okay, here, let me allow me to tell you something. On the right-hand side where it says profile pages.
Yes.
Do you see it?
Yeah.
Put your mouse on it so you prove to me that you see it. Good. All right. Thank you. Good. One, we have a spelling mistake. There is a way that we don't need to in the future both deal with spelling mistakes. I wasn't aware of that mistake, but we have one there. And we don't have to deal with updating the position of the headers. And so it looks like we have profile badges twice over here. And maybe even,
Yes.
community member profile badges, profile
This
pages.
this profile badges doesn't work. It's like it's not going
Yes.
anywhere.
Understood. So, yeah, great. And then there's also a way that we can deal with them not working. Sandra, do you happen to know? Is she still here? Nope. Okay. Does any, other than Ankush, who doesn't know, does anyone else know how it is that we can never have to talk about this again? Any of those issues? It not working, them not being in the right order, them being misspelled? Mohit, do you know? Mohit, are you here to help maintain the site? If so, can you turn your webcam on? Cool. I mean, Mohit, do you have an idea as to what I'm referring to?
Only I'm not aware of this.
Okay. What am I describing though?
The errors, like it is not redirecting to anything. And the spelling mistakes.
Nice. Yeah. Okay. Anybody else on the call have an idea as to how we can avoid some of that maintenance? Uh-oh. Wait a second. That would mean that there are some people on this call that I thought were more capable than maybe they are. That's okay. I just am surprised. Okay, so I'll before I judge everyone, which I'm about to, well, I'll describe it one more time just so that everybody. All right, so here's the challenge. We have a set of pages. We put them into this collection called the handbook collection. Great. There's a bunch of things to describe about the community and various ways of engaging in our projects and all that. So, and we put it into a handbook. Okay. Now, fine. Each page has any number of sections. Of each section has a heading. We're looking at the community member profile badges. There's a section heading right there. It's like an H2 or an H3 or something like that. On the right-hand side, there's a sidebar. That sidebar has manually curated, which means human-typed hyperlinks to help people sort of quickly jump from one section of the page to the next. And over time, sometimes those get out of date because sometimes updates get made in the text itself and people forget to update those manually curated links. Is there a way that sidebar, the contents of the sidebar, can be dynamically built such that they are no longer manually curated? Does anybody know? Saruchi, are you there? Don't fail me now. Some of you have got to know. Otherwise, we're in deep trouble. We should stop working on some of the PRs that we're working on because some of you are working on Daniel. Is it Daniel or is it DeMilo Miracle? Holy shit, it's a long name.
Not Daniel, Dami.
Danny. Oh, nice. Danny with like Danny, like that Danny?
No, Dami.
Oh, very good. Okay. It's going to sound like I'm swearing at you every time. Dammy.
All right,
But,
not bad.
No, that's
So, well, I don't know, but it's just an idea, but I just want to suggest. So looking at the problem we have here, we want the nav links to automatically update as updates is occurring on, the pages that we have instead of manually imputing it. So it's an idea. So I don't care how I sound. I might sound, we learn every day. All right. So I would love to just say what's on my mind. All right, so I'm looking at having an API. All right, so the API should be created for these nav links, and the API should have different parameters. Okay, let's call a parameter for what we call it now. Okay, let's say nav text. Yeah, so each nav text should have, you know, a URL, since it has links already, and it could be an A tag if it's the A tag that's, you know, used on these nav links. So that API parameter is going to have the nav text. So on fetching the API for these pages, all right, so the text content, okay, someone is suggesting already, like a company. Okay, now the text content is going to be the nav link, while the URL is going to be the URL coming with the API. So I think API could work in this aspect from my own hand here. So I don't know how it may sound. Other developers could also bring in their, you know, suggestions. So that's just what's on my hand right now.
Amy, super, man. That was wonderful. Thanks. I'm glad Sandra was on to hear, I think, hopefully part of that as well. Danny, let's hear from Jayesh as well. Let's see if what ideas he might have.
Hello. Am I unable? Audible?
Nope. Nope, not in the least. I can't hear what you're saying.
Hello.
Nope, can't hear you say hello either. Mm-mm.
So that's so I think I'll have to go through the code once also, but I think using JavaScript we can do this, right? We can get hold of the headings, and then we could directly use that variables into this sidebar section.
Nice. Oh, nice, Jayesh. Good. Yeah, from my, I mean, since I've set up this this question and I'm here to pass judgment over folks or over their ideas, I would say, Dami, spot on. But hey, that works. And Jayesh, spot on. Hey, that works. Anybody else?
One thing what we can do is we can give each of the headings a separate ID. So using JavaScript, you can extract those IDs and map through each of the elements to generate it.
Nice. Okay, good. I knew it. I knew what I was saying before is true, that there are any number of you that are here that would be able to figure this out. That like, yeah, that works. That works. Good. One other thing for each of us to consider is it's more or less like, hey, great. Of the three suggestions that were made, at least from my perspective, those all work. And I think those all address each of the challenges that we're having with that right-hand side toolbar. It's like the challenges are the links get out of date. They're broken. They get out of order, which is more or less they get out of date. Or maybe they get misspelled. Each of those three things can be taken care of, or maybe they're just missing. Like there's a new section, but someone forgot to add the link, the table of contents link. All of those four issues can be taken care of by the things that each of the three of you just said. As you were to sit back and ponder, like, well, gosh, well, so which of these suggestions is sort of, you'd want to pick the one that meets all these criteria. It's like the easiest to implement, the easiest to maintain, which sort of leads it to like the most bulletproof, like, right? Like, is the lowest cost in terms of like expense and overhead and complication. Like, so ideally simplest is best, which usually means that it generally just works all the time because it has fewer moving parts, so to speak, and you can implement it more quickly, and other people that come behind you can maintain it as well because it's comprehensible or comprehensible, that it's simple so that people can understand it. So one thing to consider as you think about those potential approaches is just like what's readily at hand. Well, all of the things you guys mentioned are more or less readily at hand. The ominous API, Dami, that you mentioned is perhaps readily at hand or perhaps not, depends. So anyway, the environment in which this site runs, it's using the framework Gatsby. Okay. So one thing to account for is, is there a plugin or is there just some feature of this framework that makes that that takes care of something like that? So there's this looks really rather promising. And I suspect we're already using this in some other areas of the site. I'm really rather positive that we are. I'm trying to remember. There's any number of places in the site where we would do something like this. And just, let part of the framework or a plugin take care of it for us. It would say, hey, how deep do you want to go? This is great. This is like probably precisely the thing that we should go after first. And if this doesn't work, then move on to one of the other three suggestions. One of those is like, okay, if there isn't a ready-made plugin, is just to understand, it's a little more to like Dami's point that the thing that Jayesh said and the thing that Mohit said are generic solutions that more or less work wherever you go. And Dami's thinking aloud might work almost everywhere you go, and it will work here because here there's Gatsby provides a bit of provides a way of interrogating the contents of your site using GraphQL. So more or less using an API to what Dami was saying. This particular page just talks about in general, if you have a page that you're presenting, how do you query various parts of that page using GraphQL? How can you do what Dami was saying? And this talks about that in general. And so, you get all of the headers, you iterate over them, blah, blah, blah. So good. Okay. Did anyone have anything else to add to this discussion? It would seem like, and so I mentioned Sandra's name earlier in part because she too, is she still with us? Uh-oh. Well, it's too bad. She too had run into kind of a similar issue. She was updating some of the content of one of the community pages, one of the handbook pages. And it turns out she was having to manually type in a new hyperlink for the sidebar, and she was doing a good job. It was great. But it was like, oh, geez, does she have to do that? And so I think this is an open challenge, maybe for Dami, if you'd like. That Remark plugin, that's probably where we would want to start and attempt to use that plugin for those community handbook pages. I'm pretty darn sure, like I said before, we're already using that plugin somewhere else in the site. So there might be some prior example, but you don't have to volunteer to go do it. I just figured since you were first to offer up to think aloud with us, that maybe you'd be first to be given the opportunity to work on it if you want to.
All right then. So like, is Dami or others have anything to say on it, or?
Okay. Well, all right. Thank you very much. Actually, well, I'm new to the plugin and the framework, but it's something I can learn within a while since I should get the documentations, and I'm ready to take on any challenge actually. So I'll be willing to give it a try.
Okay, thanks, Dami. I will make sure to tag you when we create our issue on this one. So next up, Ankush and from Akshan. So do we have update on this one? Added, handbook link to the footer, Ankush?
You can open the PR, like just open. So I have added the link to the handbook, but the issue was to remove the, like, you can scroll to the,
Yeah. Hey, is the other guy that was contributing the UX, is he on?
he's working on the, like, making the writing program.
Yeah. Was he doing a UX? Was he doing a visualization?
Yes. Yeah, like he just shared a screenshot, like he added the writing program. I think he's working on that.
Oh, nice. Ritik, if what he has is acceptable, we'll want to move forward.
Yeah, it looks fine, like because we are using the same icon, that the same badge that we have for the writing program. So
Nice.
yeah.
I don't know that. Yeah, good. I mean, it's not that big of a deal, but I don't know that the writing program is deserving of its own separate card on the internships program page, because the writing program would just fall under the layer 5 internship. But we do want to mention it, in a couple of places, couple of pages, and having a graphic like that is great. I'm not really aiming this feedback at Ritik per se, but whomever, Mohit, maybe if you're facilitating feedback to Akshan, can you provide that feedback, Mohit? Yes, Mohit with an M, the one that's supposed to be. Mohit, are you with us? Can you hear me?
Hello. Yeah.
Okay. It sounds like
Yeah, we can make it.
Cool. We can make it what?
We can have a separate one, like not mentioning it in the layer 5 internships.
Okay. We're gonna have to work on your communication skills, right? Good. Yep. So you're gonna ask that it not be listed as its own card, but that it gets listed on a couple of other pages so that people are aware of the program. It doesn't get lost. It makes sense that it would be listed potentially here on the internships program page, but just probably not its own program. Something that people can, I'm sorry, not its own internship program. It's not an internship unto its own. Nice. Thanks, Mike. Good. We should move past the other. Yeah, let's go to the next.
Yeah. So Archit is with us today. So Archit, would you like to present?
Yeah, sure. Are you guys able to see my screen?
Yes, we are.
Okay, so we were having some issues while auditing the site in SEMrush, and one of those issues was that we were having duplicate meta descriptions. So like with this PR, I've fixed like 47 files, which was a part of events page. I've added a description in the front matter, and I've also changed the template because before that it was you inheriting description from some other file. That's why they were having the same meta description. So that's it, I guess.
Great work, Archit. Just one feedback, and that is like the description that you are adding, and you'll be passing it as a prop to the CO component. So like the title and description both are same, but I'm just wondering if we should be having something more in description part.
Okay, I can do that. I'll have some unique description for all of them.
Any feedback for Archit here?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we could be a little more creative. Archit on, is it Archit or Archit?
It's Archit.
Archit. Yeah, good. On the, what does COSS stand for? I bet you it's listed on that page, and I bet you that would be a little better SEO optimization. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, sure.
thanks, man. Good. Put that big brain of yours to use on the in the descriptions, if you would.
Thank you,
Okay.
Archit.
But this is good. So, Archit, did you also happen to get to any 404s fixes?
I'm sorry.
Did you happen to fix any broken links, any 404 errors?
No. I'm taking a look onto them. Most of them are from from the discuss.layer5.io, and I'm not sure.
Those aren't 404 errors though. Those are like 301s. Redirects, right? You guys, do you know what a 404 is, Archit? Just an HTML error code. Do you know? HTTP error code. What is that one about? You just said yes, you know what it is, right? What is that one? While you search Google for it.
Yeah, basically the
Lee, why you got
the
to
page is not available.
like that?
I know, he put him on the spot. Yeah, so everybody can learn, because I think that's why a lot of
when the page is not available, I guess it just skipped from my mind.
Yeah, when the page is not available. Beautiful. Very good. Also, Sandra, so that people can shine, like Archit that just did. Wonderful. Also, if I dish out sarcasm and whatnot, I have to be willing to take it. So thank you, Sandra. Good. So Archit, yeah, if you don't mind, the 404s, we want to try to knock those out post haste, fairly quickly.
Yeah, I'll work on them.
All right, so next up, this update from Jayesh. So Jayesh is with us. It's Jay Kumar, but not Jayesh, so we'll skip. And then we have final product page from Prem. But again, Prem is not with us, so we'll circle back if he joins. And then we have Harsha's item, and that is adjust padding to navigation text. So do we have Harsha on call?
Yeah, I'm sharing the screen. Okay, as this was the issue which I fixed in the last week itself, and I have received some suggestions to remove the extra space over here, and I have made those. Like I have maintained the event space for all the sections, and I have adjusted padding for the mobile size also. So, is there any feedback to modify this?
Harsha, I suggested you that it's like there's some problem from the width 750 to like
Yeah.
this 1341. So
Yeah, I have
just
checked
make
that.
sure that
At that bit, I guess this right sidebar will be hidden at that side at 750 pixels. And remaining looks good only. It's only showing up only in the developer tools, I guess.
have you fixed for the rest of the screen sizes from 750 to the 1341?
No, it was showing up only in developers tools only. Like when I have checked it, my screen size at 1200 pixels around. The this sidebar will be hidden. Like only we can see to here.
Thank you, Harsha. And yeah, let's make sure like we fix whatever is asked, and let's take it forward in the GitHub comments. So thank you, Archit. You will be, pairing up with Archit to fix this. So I'll share my
Yeah.
screen again. And before we move on to Mission.io, since Sandra is here with us, let's cover her item. So Sandra, are you there? She's not. So let's move on to Mission.io items. And first item we have from Ashutosh. So is Ashutosh with us? He's not. But I'll share the PR link in chat so you all can go and review. All right. And then there's this call for volunteers, and let's just quickly cover it. And is Yash with us? Yes, is not. So there was this issue. Oh no, this should be this one. Okay, so I have got wrong issue linked, but I'll make sure that I fix the link and then we'll cover it again. And next up, we have item on docs.layer5.io. And first item is from Jay Kumar. So Jay is with us. So Jay, would you like to?
Yeah,
Okay,
okay.
I'll open the PR.
So
Yeah,
this
go ahead.
PR was for making the footer more descriptive. Everything has been done, but there is one issue that is there because of the background image, there is an overflow in the mobile views, and I'm not able to fix that. So if I can share my screen.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. The way to share my entire screen. I guess this was it. Does that work?
Yep.
Okay. So this is the extra space that we are getting in the mobile view, and just not able to fix it because if this is because of this triangle and a dashed angle and IR circle container. This was, I think, already fixed in one of the issues. This is not it. Not even able to remove this. How do I just tabs here now? Okay. Okay.
Cool. So is this already fixed or?
No,
so-
this is not fixed
Oh,
now.
okay. All right.
I mean, a PR for this was made in this issue and it has been merged, but it hasn't been fixed for every view. So,
Gotcha.
over fix and just not able to, sorry, not able to find a fix for this. I mean,
Yeah, a fix. Wait, I must have missed it. A fix for what? What's the issue
this
still?
extra space overflow at
Oh.
both the X and Y,
Yeah.
just because of this background thing we have.
Yep. There might, so Ankush might have part of the answer. And it's he was talking about overflow Y earlier. And I see that we've got in this dash tangle, we've got overflow, both Y and X set to hidden here. At least that's what I'm seeing in the right-hand side of the screen. Yeah. So that seems to be working in the larger view, but in a smaller mobile view, that's not quite working. You're thinking, is that what you're thinking, or?
Yep.
Yeah. I wonder if there are media queries being done that perhaps either the size of the dash tangle, like the height and width, maybe those could be reduced some as well. It's kind of an odd suggestion that I'm saying this, but maybe that would help to a certain degree. not that the goal is to make them so small that they fit on the screen, but maybe they were just never, so it still goes, the overflow is still left and right, both, right? I don't know, like, yeah, to the extent that it might be that, like, if we don't necessarily, yeah, that might actually do help if you, it's hard to, yeah, if you put like height and width at like 3 rem each, something like that.
How much?
You're like 3 rem, yeah, something like that. All right, now what do we get? So okay. And if you go all the way to the bottom, okay, so good. So that fixed our Y, not our X. And yeah, anyway, if they're going to continue to be shown, maybe you would scale them down, and maybe that will have, like we are right now, maybe that will help. I don't see them, or I don't see it. If you scroll back up, I don't necessarily see it. That might be because while we reduce the size, the position is still like way over there. It's top right. Yeah. But if they're not going to be visible anyway, we may as well just hide the whole thing. And maybe that will help with getting rid of, the overflow.
Mm-hmm.
But if we are, ideally, we would probably continue to show them just at a reduced size. And so perhaps their height and width could be calculated as a percentage of the viewport. You could use calc, or you could use, what's that other one? Clamp. Oh yeah.
Yeah, maybe you can also like change the insets, like the absolute position is right minus 32 rem. That's why it's getting pushed there. If you'd like scale there down.
Okay. So in the media query for the mobiles, at that breakpoint, we make these changes.
Either
right?
a media query or using like responsive.
Yeah.
Like using a percentage or clamp or something as Lee suggested. So we don't use media queries either.
Yeah, media query. Again, like we were talking about CSS foo earlier. You know that you're at least a CSS green belt or a blue belt, maybe, which is about, if you're using clamp or calc. Clamp's a little hard to figure out, and that might be more like a brown belt, almost black belt, but calc may be more of a, anyway, what you want to do is aspire to not use a media query if you can. And if the size is dynamically calculated, because that's conceptually, that's the only thing that's changing when you resize the width of the screen is the positioning of the element. The element itself isn't responsive. It stays at the same position, same size. And yeah, it is a little odd that so Abid, you see how the overflow is set to hidden? I guess like it's not even placed on the screen visibly. So maybe that affects the fact that, like, anyway, it's not necessary that overflow hidden. What would work is if it's not even going to be on the screen, you would set visibility to hidden, visibility of the whole thing, and then that might fix it. But that's sort of a format, that's sort of a wimp's way out, like to say like, oh, it's too, rather you want to resize it and keep it on the screen. Here's the other thing to be aware of is that there's a guy that's a contributor that's not on the call right now. His name's Prem Kumar. And he's trying to work on an enhanced landing page. So we'll want to make sure that the work that you put in here doesn't go away. And I don't think it will. The landing page that he's working on, it's mocked up inside of the community's Figma file. And it has this triangle and it has that circle, that radial gradient. So good. Any other thoughts or pointers here?
Nothing else from mine.
How do you feel about it? You feel out of your depth? Or you feel comfortable? You feel
I'll have to study a little bit about clamp and calc because I've never used them before.
Yeah. Does that, what CSS belt rank does that put you at, do you think?
Definitely newbie at this.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe not a white belt, maybe more like a yellow belt, or like, you know, like you got some stripes on the belt, I would say, right? Anyway, thanks. Good. Yeah, the clamp is really nice when it works well for text as well. You should just, media queries are one of those things that's an outdated, or media queries are for like job security. If all you want to do is update CSS for your job, because it's media queries are always and inevitably is just constant maintenance to do. Whereas something like clamp is a set it and forget it.
Okay.
Vaibhav, would you like to cover this one?
Yeah, yes. Can I share my screen?
Yes, go ahead. Are you sharing the screen, Vaibhav?
Yes. Is it?
Yep, but there's a $2 fine there, so yeah.
Vaibhav, you did perfect, man. That was you caught yourself. That was amazing.
Okay. Okay, so this is the PR that I have fixed. PR, I have added the keyboard shortcuts to the mesh map. The documentation was not available previously, but now I have added. So here is like the preview, which is like my updated version. Here, so for so like the mesh map is like divided, like have three sections. Like first is designer, the second is visualizer, which appears on when we click on the setting buttons on the UI. So this is like for the designer shortcuts, and this is for the visualizer shortcuts, and this is for searching the components, which has one little error, because like I have specified here, click the search icon or press /, which is for the visualizer, which I haven't mentioned here, but I would fix that ASAP.
Okay. That was wonderful. Thank you for the updates.
Yes.
Hey, do you suspect? I wonder if a couple of things couldn't be done. One is for those individuals that use Windows and for those that use Mac or Linux, or Mac rather, it's a little difficult for them to maybe just train their eyes to their specific OS's version. I wonder if we can help with that at all. Also, yeah, it's a little difficult to pick out like what that key is, what that I wonder if there's anything visual that you might be able to do. So they have a challenge for you, I suppose.
Yeah, there is something in the mesh map. We already represent them like as keyboard keys, so you might take that component and just scale it a bit down and use it there, or just as it is, so it would be better visually.
Yes, challenge accepted or no? Yeah. Should we open up a GitHub issue separate for someone else, or do you want to do that? Okay, I will open up a GitHub issue. Mohit, if you would. Cool.
Okay, so next up we have an item from Suruchi, image model PR. So Suruchi, would you like to?
Yeah, sure. Sharing my screen. Okay, so hoping my screen is visible. So this PR is about adding a picture in model for for layer 5 iOS sites. Sorry, docs.layer5 iOS site. So this is the preview. If we click on image, so this is how it is in desktop view, and this is mobile view. So yeah, this is all about from my end.
Nice. Hey, just to recap that really fast. So Suruchi, we have this new documentation site, and the theme that we're using, we're using Jack Hugo as the framework, and we're using a theme, and a documentation-centric theme. That theme doesn't seem to come with, the ability to let people maximize an image. Like it's nice when there's built-in functionality into a site or a theme that lets you just, as someone writing docs, you could just include the image, and then the site would take care of allowing people to download it or zoom in on it. And so what you've done is you've added a new feature to this docs site that just that handles that, and the behavior that you're demonstrating. If you click on this image again, the behavior is that you go full screen. And can you click away, not by clicking the X, but just clicking on the image itself, or just off the image, or?
Yeah, it's working. Like if you click on X, or even if you click on image, it will close.
Oh, that's wonderful. And then you also, I noticed there's a tooltip or an alt in there that,
Yeah.
search engine agents like to read. And in this case, that seems to be the name of the CSS class that's assigned. I wonder if that's intentional or accidental, if we might be able to do something about that.
So this CSS class, like image, like we're getting image center shadow.
Okay, yeah, that's the name of the CSS class. All right.
Yeah, so this CSS class is only when we are not viewing it as a model, but simply as a picture in that side. Then it has this CSS class like image, which will make it at center and will have this hovering effect. But when it will be this view, then there will be no CSS. I mean, that image center shadow CSS will not be there.
Very good. Sounds great to me. There's one piece of feedback that I just gave that I think maybe somebody else can describe it, because I don't think that I communicated it, or Suruchi didn't quite get it.
So yeah, like yep, like Ritik, would you go?
Yeah. Okay. Wait. Okay. Does anybody understand what I said?
Yep, I guess I did. So when you hover on this image, so this shows this tooltip that has this class name, but it should have something different, not the class name.
Okay. So should I remove this class name? Like it is not looking good here. So should I remove this, or?
Yes, although the way that you ask that makes it sound like there's still a miscommunication happening. What would you remove? What effect would that have?
I mean, I will just remove this view. Like currently, we are able to see this image center shadow class name, but it should not be there.
You have to be more articulate with what you're describing, because it's still not 100% clear that we're talking about the same thing. What effect would that have if you removed it?
I mean, if I remove this label, like this image center shadow label, then like the user will not able to see this, but the class will be still applied to this image.
Nice. Okay, good. Yeah. If you don't mind, just by default, we wouldn't want for the class name to show. The tooltip is fantastic, I think, or like it's quite helpful for accessibility, and it helps with SEO ranking as well, because it's, you know, what you're supposed to do when you write HTML pages. And so the tooltip, the style looks nice of the tooltip, and the fact that there is one, that's nice. It's just that as you build out this feature of the documentation site, what you can do is ensure that support for a tooltip is provided, that someone who's putting in an image, that they can, a contributor can type in some intelligible name, some descriptor of the image itself, and that we are not automatically using the class name for that descriptor. Yeah.
Okay, I will do that.
Oh, nice. Oh, good. This is a great feature. Thanks for doing this. This is really painful for me personally, actually. So great.
Thank you, Suruchi. And next up, like we are already 3 minutes over, but I wonder if this is something we would want to cover today.
Abid, there's an open pull request from Antoinette, I think, on improving the build and release workflow. I think there is.
Yeah, actually there is one.
Okay. And have you looked at it just yet, or should we talk about it, or is it better that we wait?
Actually, we should wait because I didn't understand actually what was done there.
Okay.
Okay, then like we've covered everything today, except for some of the items that the folks were not present, but definitely we'll be covering them in the next websites meeting. So like if you want to get all the meeting updates, so make sure you
I was
subscribe
present. Blame it on my Wi-Fi.
Okay. So Sandra, so would you like to quickly cover this item?
Well, the item has been closed, I think, an hour before the meeting happened, so I'm not sure if it's worth going through it, which is a great thing because then that means it was resolved.
Yeah, thank you once again, Sandra. So
yeah, since she's here, just really quickly, since she's here, there's most of the discussion that we had about it was actually about something that is plaguing a few of the other pull requests, or it's the reason for the other pull requests, and it's the lack of dynamicism in the right-hand side sidebar with the table of contents. And we discussed on the call how it is that we can make that dynamic and avoid people having to manually curate the intra-page table of contents. And so just it's really like related to what you were doing, but so just FYI.
Yeah, and just adding to that, we'll have this meetings live recorded session in our YouTube. So make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. You will find all the meeting sessions there. So yeah, we will meet next Monday. Until then, bye everyone.
Bye everyone.
Bye. Mohit, you're going to open that GitHub issue, and Dami, you will as well.
Everybody, bye.
Good. Okay, gents, we'll follow up.
Yeah, I'll create both the issues.
Thank you.
The sidebar one.
All right, bye.